There everybody, it's Chad. Today's May 2nd. It's time for an update on what we got going on, so stay tuned. We appreciate you tuning into the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's located right down there. Once you hit the subscribe button, hit the little thing that looks like a bell so you get a notification whenever I put out some content so you can consume it and be better off for it. Recent Harvard studies have shown that if you watch my videos from beginning to end, your IQ will raise 300 points by the end of the season. Don't look at my references for that study. Anywho, go to ColoradoGiants.com if you want to purchase some giant pumpkin seeds. You still have plenty of time to start your seeds if you want a really big pumpkin. If you want a giant pumpkin, you better get on the boat before it leaves. But if you want some really big ones, you can start your seeds anywhere from now, I don't know, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and you'll be fine. ColoradoGiants.com. I will give those out for free during the winter, but if you want them now, you got to pay. I have been doing a lot of work and I have been doing filming. I haven't done an edit for a video. I might do that as I edit this video, so there might be 2 videos coming out this week, or I might splice them all into here. I'm not really sure. I haven't made up my mind. But it has been a productive weekend this past weekend, and today on Tuesday, it has been and will continue to be a productive day today. Just a recap of what I have done. I think we can see it in frame. Let me take a look. Yep. So over here, I threw out my my header line for my drip tape. I rototilled everything, my weed cover crop. That's all squared away. Today I need to do a handful of things. I'm throwing out my my drip tape, which you can't see. That's not in frame. I'll do that. In fact, I might do an overlay of me doing that with the time-lapse mode right now as I talk about this, saying a few more words so you get a general concept of what it is, just measuring that out to length, cutting it, putting the end on, and that's all you need to do. I'll then connect them to my header line and my drip tape will be done. I need to do that today because I want to plant my plants today or tomorrow. But before I do that, I want to sterilize my soil. I need to re-inoculate it with all of the good guys, trying to get rid of the bad guys. So I need to do that today because coming up this time next week, I'll be on my way to Montana for a whole week. And, you know, the plants would be better off inside the dirt than in a pot. So I'm on a bit of a time crunch, gotta get it done. Past that, I put in all the pads on the wet wall back there, as you can see. That is basically done. Knock on wood, the leaks that I had are gone. I do have one small one because I didn't patch high enough on a seam, but it's a very slow leak, a leak that I can live with. The only thing that I need to do with that is because I raised and leveled the trough on the bottom, I have to put a coupling on, reduce the height of my riser pump, and then really that'll be good to go. It's pretty hot in here today. I don't know if you can hear it, but a high temperature alarm just kicked off in one of the hot huts. I'm assuming and hoping it's that one that's closed up, so that means it's 110 in there. Outside today, it's probably in the mid 60s, very, very low 70s, but in here it's nice and warm, and we're at least in the 80s. And in that hoop house where the alarm's going off, I have that set to 110. So it's at least 110 in there. Other things that we've gotten accomplished today, I had to replace a section of fence near the emu pen. And then while we were doing that, the family came out and put in all of our garden plants. I'll do an overlay of that as well. We got your beans, your broccoli, your tomatoes, stuff like that, hot peppers, things that the kids like to eat, cucumbers. So just putting that stuff in. A little risky. Colorado is very famous for late freezes. We can freeze, we can snow all the way up until Mother's Day. But again, because I'm going to be gone next week, I'm going to do it now. The weather forecast looks pretty good, but even then that could still be a little risky. But no risk it, no biscuit. We're sending the plants. And last but not least is the garden on the side of the greenhouse. I got that all tilled up. I have a little bit of landscape fabric that I put down. I need to put another roll, but I'm not sure if you can see, but the greenhouse is rocking and rolling. It's pretty windy today, so that's challenging to put that down when it's all windy. It just flaps everywhere. But the side of the greenhouse garden bed is good to go. Got that irrigation for that garden as well as the regular garden. So really, I'm in a good spot right now, looking pretty good. So I'm going to get to work. When I do something interesting, I'll film, and we'll go from there. I just fired up the swamp cooler for the first time this year. And just in case you don't know, here's what I had to do. I had to just put a coupler there to extend that a little bit because of I raised that up. I have leveled, evened everything out. So I need to fix that. So if you don't know, a swamp cooler is an evaporative cooler. This pump, this trough is full of water. This pump pumps the water up through that tube, and then there's a bunch of holes in this tube, which is why this water's leaking out right here. It's just kind of splashing. You can kind of see it going on in there. So that water is going up, deflecting off this, and then trickling down. You can see it trickling down these corrugated, waterproofed panels. So as time goes on, that'll get more and more saturated. And then if I step in front of it, I can feel, yes, so nice. The nice, cool, moist, humid air. So then the water trickles down, goes into the trough, and it just gets recirculated. We go all the way down to here. This is a float valve. So this will evaporate off a large amount of water. So throughout the day while this is running, this float valve replenishes the water. And then this works because those two big fans down at the end are sucking air through the greenhouse. If you watch the other videos, you know on the other side of this wall, there's nothing. There's just a screen to keep bugs out. But it's open to the outside, so the air is coming through. It's getting drawn out, sucked through there, so it makes this entire greenhouse significantly cooler. By a large factor. I would say at least 10 to 15 degrees cooler when this is on versus not. Additionally, you get humidity, and that's really good for the plants as well. So swamp cooler is on. It's looking good, knock on wood. I really don't see any leak action going on the bottom, so that will allow me to clean up all this junk underneath here because I don't have like buckets to catch leaks and braces to keep the trough held up because it is rather heavy. So this will allow me to clean all that up and it will make it look nice, just like over here. So all that's left is really to talk about the plants. I'm going to throw down the other half of the irrigation line, which this is all done, by the way. It looks great. And once I'm done with that, we'll have a conversation about plants, and I'll be done. Well, nope, I got one more thing to do, cover up this with a tarp, and then I'll be done for the day. So back to work. So I'm at the end of the day. It's been a very productive day. I'm super happy about that. I've got the drip lines for both hoop house areas down. Currently I'm peroxiding my soil. I did a video on that. I'll upload that probably the day after this one gets uploaded. And yeah, the wet wall is looking really good. It's fully saturated except for over there in the corner. It's working excellent actually with those new pads and the non-leaky trough. All in all, I'm super happy. I'll flip you around. Let's talk about the plants real fast. Here we go on the plants. They're looking really good. They're looking a little light green. They could use a little food, but I don't want to I don't really want to give them food until they're in the ground. The 16, and it's not 1676, it's like 1643. I don't remember what the heck it is. So yeah, so that one's doing really good. My 2560 Ginger, I had two of those. One of them had a real weird ribbon double vine situation, and I gave that away to a non-competitive grower. 16, another 16, another 16, and then the other one out there. These are all looking really good. I was moving them around today when I was putting these drip lines down, and believe it or not, one of them, actually a couple of them, but one of them had a really strong roots growing on them. So there you go. Roots are all coming out the bottom on these guys. Need to get them in the ground, so that's why I'm looking forward to tomorrow to get them in the ground. They're looking great. Third leaf, fourth leaf's on the way. The little vine is starting. So I need to get these guys in the ground so they can rock and roll and make me a 2,000-pound pumpkin. Hopefully, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll get to them, but appreciate you watching. Get out there, grow yourself a giant pumpkin. Visit WallaceWow.com. Awesome guy, as well as Neptune's Harvest. See you next time.